Hello, I'm Chrissy Seaton. When you donate to charity, how do you know where it actually goes? What happens to that money? So I'm going to sort of have a little chat today about that, and it will be of interest particularly to Noahides, but I guess everybody needs to know where their money is going that they're donating. So, charity for Noahides is not a commandment, but it's certainly an obligation. It's an obligation to look after people less fortunate than we are, the poor, the sick, community efforts that may be in progress. And there are many things that you can donate your money to that do wonderful work and help support the community or individuals that may even be in that community. So, how do you choose what you're going to do with that donation that you make? Well, first of all, there's probably a few do nots to think about first. Sometimes when you donate money to charities, you may be understanding that that's going back into an immediate local community effort or resources. Well, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes that money goes into the major coffer or bank of that organisation and can be spent on whatever they choose. So you can sometimes be misinformed about how that money is actually spent. And just as you want to know how you spend your money when purchasing things for yourself or whatever, you certainly need to know information about where you're donating your money to and make sure that it is going exactly where you intend it to. Another red flag is I know that there are a lot of religious organisations out there. There's a lot of religious charity shops or op shops or whatever they call them. And again, you think that that money that you've spent in that op shop is going to be spent in that community or on the poor or the needy or what have you. Well, the money ideally goes into a major it's my dogs, don't worry, they're barking. That money goes into a central banking organisation, and then the people that run that charity or that op shop or the church, more importantly, they will then decide where that money goes. So it's not necessarily coming back into your community. So they're things that you need to be aware of when you are actually donating your money. So who do I give to? Well, for Noahides, there are a lot of worthy causes out there. My suggestion is that you begin in your local community where you live or perhaps work. And there is always something to give your money to. It does not have to go to a church or a religious organisation or a religious affiliation. There are many worthy causes. There's things, examples I'm using, guide dogs, animal welfare or rescue. There are like in rural communities, you'll have your rural fire services. Country Women's Association, they do some marvellous work donating and helping people in need. So there are lots of things out there that you can give to and be assured that it is going to the right service. Sometimes it doesn't have to be money. You can donate your time to help in community projects and things that may be happening at the time. So when, again, back to the fact that Noahides are not obligated, are not commanded, I should say, to give charity, but it is an obligation that we do so because it's a bit like honouring our parents. We're not commanded to do so, but it is certainly an obligation that we honour our parents. Noahides, some Noahides also tithe regularly. They may give 10% of their income to worthy causes, and again they choose where that money goes to and how regularly they make that. Might be monthly, it might be weekly, what have you. And they're all very worthy causes. But for those of you out there who are in doubt about what to give to, I suggest that you steer clear of religious organisations and better to concentrate on your local community. There's always a need there. You've only got to ask people in your area and they will soon tell you what, something is in need. It could be individual person that's in need, or it might be a small section of the community that is in need. So always look to your community first. And there's always someone there that needs your assistance. Never have to go too far. The other thing that I would like to mention is that Noahides are encouraged to always make a coin donation before they pray. So we have a little tin here, and all our loose change goes into that. It might be 5 cents, 10 cents or whatever before we pray. And when that tin gets full, I take it with me and I put it in sometimes the guide dog box I see, or sometimes our local bank has a local charity going on and they have a box in there. So I always find somewhere to put that loose change that's lying around. The tithing that you make, some people like to do that too. They might want to support other Noahides, or rescue helicopters. As I said, there's many things that you can donate your tithing to, and or your loose change. I want to just finish this video by telling you a beautiful story that I was told about a community, and this just illustrates perfectly what I've been saying. In a small rural community, there was a grandmother who was quite poor. She had, I think, 14 or 15 grandchildren altogether, and at any one time there was at least 6 of them living with her for whatever reasons. There were many complicated reasons that she had to take care of quite a number of her grandchildren. She was a pensioner, an elderly lady. She didn't own a car, and she had to walk to the shops. She often had the children during the school semesters and sometimes in the holidays. And one of the ladies working in the supermarket was well aware of her situation. And through her going around and speaking to co-workers and and customers, she arranged to collect money for this lady. And so they had this system where if some of the regular customers and that came in, they'd say to her, "Oh, put that change in the envelope." It was the envelope. And everyone was in the know of where that envelope was going and who it was for. But it was just the anonymous, put it in the envelope. And that lady that worked in the supermarket, once a week, she would take the contents of that envelope and give it to the lady, the grandmother. Many a times it brought tears to the grandmother's eyes, because when that arrived, she always had some use for it, and always for the grandchildren. What a beautiful, wonderful process that went through. It was dignified, and when the lady asked where this money was coming from, the lady from the supermarket would say, "Oh, just some of the people come in and want to donate some money, and we just put it in an envelope, and they don't know where it's going, and I just decided that, I would give it to you." So she preserved that lady's dignity, although I'm sure a lot of people that donated knew very well where it was going. But just see how one person can make a difference in the life of somebody else. Here was that grandmother, poor, struggling, probably the only stable person in some of those grandchildren's lives. And what a difference that community was making, quietly and diligently making a difference.